Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Well, it's Sunday evening, and I wanted to go over my 10 buy recommendations. So let's get into it. I have more buy recommendations that I would like, given that I think a pullback here is probably likely. First buy recommendation, AMC Entertainment, the AMC theaters. I think they have bowling, some other things. Again, I'm not a fundamental analyst. I just look at charts. And what I see right here is a year and a half descending triangle with a collapsing resistance line and a horizontal support line. Tried to break out at the end of last week, was unable to. Again, this reminds me of platinum. I think platinum was a 2.5 year similar pattern. And when it broke out in a big way. So what you see here is kind of a winding up of compression where the bulls and the bears, whoever was shorting this stock from, I think it was at one point like $250 or something. So whoever's been shorting this stock, they've made a lot of money on that. And so we got the bulls and the bears wrestling here. And so when this goes either direction, either up or down, it's going to go in a fast way. I'm hoping it's up because I am long AMC Entertainment. And let's take a closer look here, which got me involved in the stock. And here we are. We have just a small inverse head and shoulders pattern. It's like a man or woman hanging upside down. There's your neckline. You got the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. And we broke out. And then we got a pullback on Friday, which is when I initiated with the buy rating. And so I wanted to hold 290, confluence of moving averages here are our support. And just based on this little pattern, if it's able to hold, and smaller patterns are less trustworthy than bigger 2 year patterns, 3 year patterns. So, but the smaller pattern is suggesting a 365 price projection, which is close to 4% potential upside. But the big potential gain is here. The larger, this is a weekly chart. Each one of these bars represents a week. And this pattern, if we can close clearly above the resistance line, is 1263, which would be, 300% above. But we're taking one step at a time. And so we look at this on a daily chart. Each one of these bars represents a day. That would give us a 365 potential upside price projection, which would get us into that larger pattern that I showed you on a weekly basis. So very bullish on AMC. This is volatile, speculative. You're talking about a $3 stock in a time that I think the market is very susceptible to a big correction. So, but I do have to look at the pattern on its own and make that determination. So AMC Entertainment, very bullish. Antero Resources, a natural gas energy stock, but mostly natural gas. And I've shown you the bigger pattern. I think I have it on here again tonight with the smaller pattern that we want to keep intact here to keep our buy recommendation is again a inverse head and shoulders pattern with the neckline, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We had a bullish hammer on Friday where prices tried to break my stop level. We're able to close above and close right into the confluence of moving averages. If it can hold here, it promises a higher high. And this bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern suggests a 39, but it really needs to hold here. So I see the futures tonight, natural gas is up, so is oil is up. So hopefully that holds because it would do well for some of my recommendations, which is basically we're in a commodity boom that we haven't seen since the 70s. And I've been bullish over the last 18 months to 2 years now, and things like gold and silver and copper and platinum and all kinds of things. So I'm thinking there's going to be a handoff here from metals to energy. And so I'm slowly switching my portfolio to less metals to more energy. We'll see if that's a smart move or not. And this is the big pattern on Antero Resources. So this pattern was only, what, about 6 months long. Each one of these bars represents a day. This one is a weekly pattern that goes back 2.5 years, 2 years anyway. Broke out, came back, went to a buy rating, got stopped out, went to a buy rating, went neutral here, went buy bullish again based on the daily pattern. Well, we really need a close here north of, let's call it 35 or so on a weekly close would make me feel really good about this recommendation. But the potential upside on this weekly chart by measuring the base of this triangle and projecting upward is 63, and we're at 34. So a lot of potential upside here. But again, these are natural gas stocks. They're super volatile, and natural gas prices have to go up for this to work. As you can see, this gold line represents natural gas and how Antero has followed that pretty well. Okay, cannabis stocks, another aggressive name. I don't really want aggressive names right now because I'm bearish on the overall market. I think a correction is in the making, but this has been a good one for us. So I'll show you the longer term chart, I think, next. But this ETF, MJ, cannabis, is down from it's like 400 and it got down to 18 or 17 and it broke our bearish channel here, the two parallel downward sloping trend lines. And I said at that point in time, we're going to get a three-wave correction. So one upward correction. And so we went bullish here on July 17th at 20. We went neutral at 12.25. That was a 50% gain. A few days later, with a little pullback, we went bullish again at 31. A few days later, we went neutral with at 35.20 with a 13% gain. Kind of laid off of that with a negative divergence here. What that is as prices hit higher highs in price. Our relative strength index measuring the underlying intensity of the move, whether it's strengthening or lessening, was lessening, given a flashing a caution sign, beware, a change of trend is coming, and we got a correction. So I bought again and went bullish at 32.17. We're currently at 36.78. I'm expecting another higher high, and then I may be looking to go neutral again. We'll see. Anyway, this is a long-term pattern. This isn't even the high. A few years before that, it was higher than this. But you can see the big downtrend, and we're looking for a corrective rally. I'm expecting it to stop somewhere around 50 to 60, but who knows? Um, so what I'm expecting right now, so you can see as we hit lower lows here, we got a higher low on our relative strength index, flashing a caution sign, beware a change of trend is coming. The intensity on the last down move was less, and that was meaning that a lot of these sellers were out of the stock. If we hit a higher high here tomorrow or the next day or sometime this week, this is a weekly chart, each bar represents a week, that will flash a caution sign to me. If we have a lower high here, the exact opposite of here, that beware a change of trend is coming and that we're going to get a bigger correction. We had a confluence of moving averages here where they all came together and we came back and retested it. And that's when I went bullish. And what this is suggesting, the bullish rainbow convergence is suggesting that we get another higher high. So if we get that, we get a negative divergence. I'll be going neutral and selling a lot of this stuff. I have no attachment to these things. CVX, Chevron. Again, energy, I'm expecting metals to kind of give the baton to energy, which has been in a 2-year trading range, sideways trading range, as has Chevron, as has natural gas, and all those things. Why metals have gone to the moon, and we certainly participated in all those. But I'm looking at a symmetrical triangle, two converging trend lines. This is a big pattern. It's 3 years in the making. One, two, three. Yep. Try to break out a few months back in early 2025, and I tried to break out here recently. And I got a tight stop on here at 152. So this needs to get going. You got to get energy going. Um, the commercials, the big boys, and the futures markets are ultra bullish. They're at their longest long position in like 10 years. So I don't know what they know that I don't know, but they think that their oil, crude oil, is worth a lot more than what it's currently trading at. If that happens, I think we'll see Chevron do really well. Oh, let me go back. The upward price projection, just based on this pattern here, if it can close above significantly, and we've had a couple of false breakouts, is 212, which is a from here, it's about a 35% advance. So these are big potential winners, but they got a lot of risk. I'm trying to identify new trends at an early stage, and then I'm going to carry those until those trends change. It's similar to silver and gold, which I got in, which were in similar consolidations as Chevron and as this iShares commodity index, which is 60% energy. I think it's like 20 or 25% agricultural, which has done nothing, and some metals also. So you get a really broad diversification. I chose this over being bullish on crude oil because I think crude oil is still in that consolidation. It's not broke out like this one has slightly. And I also like the diversification. I think it lessens your risk. The chart itself, the reward to risk is really favorable right now. And so I am bullish on the broad-based commodity index, but it's very weighted towards energy. So again, it's not a real consensus call. People are not real bullish on energy. And so, but again, the futures oil markets, the commercials, the big boys that are in the industry are thinking that this is really going higher, and they're normally right. So the potential upside on this pattern is 3084, which is about 35% higher. These are big numbers. I don't throw those away lightly. So throw those numbers around lightly. The S&P 500, I'm bearish on the S&P 500. You can see I've been wrong. I went neutral, I went bearish. I was right over here being bearish. My riddenness had a negative divergence, and then that was negated with this peak. And now we've got a higher high, we've got a lower high, so we're back to a negative divergence. But we only have a week or two left of weak seasonality, and we got to get this done. My guess is this will happen in a couple of really big days, maybe give us some opportunity to add in some of our other bullish positions and things that we've been bullish on that we're now neutral on, like solar, like rare earth, those type of things. They're sporting negative divergences. So Verizon, this is just kind of a straightforward symmetrical triangle here, which is probably 6 months in the making, 6 months in the making. And we bought it here, went straight up. I was telling people to sell on the way up. That's what I always do. I sell on green, I buy on red. And now it looks like we have a smaller descending triangle here. So we need to get this going here with a breakout above, let's say 44. That would give us a price projection on this small triangle of 47, but the larger one is saying about 50. And if you look at the weekly chart, the 3, 4 year pattern, there's a huge more potential upside. And this pays a 6.5% dividend. So I really like this. Exelon, this is one we've been in for a long time. It's been great. Descending triangle, broke out, went bullish, shot up to the moon, got to 47, close to 51, our price projection based on this pattern. And on those way up, I'm saying, what are you doing on these up days? You got to be selling. And when I got down here, I said, we should be adding back to that. It tried to break out of the smaller triangle on Friday. I was unable, but I'm looking for a new higher high, probably get a negative divergence over here, suggesting beware a change of trend is coming and I would be out of this. So I'm hoping to get out of this because there's so many good buying opportunities, but there's still more upside here in my eyes. Here's platinum. This is one I'm very close to getting out of. I went bullish here, got stopped out, went bullish again. I said I want to buy this before it breaks out because of this tight wound pattern over 1, 2, 3 years. It's going to go really fast, and that's what happened. And I'm telling people to sell, 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 selling to buy, buy, buy. Now we had a higher high. I don't know if you can call this a negative divergence, but kind of slightly. Anyway, it's reached our price projection based on this pattern of 144. So, there's more attractive things in my mind. This was kind of how silver was to me a couple of weeks ago, even though silver's gone higher. But there's some other things that have much more upside, I believe, at this point in time. But again, I'm bullish on commodities. I think metals will participate, but I'm looking for a handoff to energy. Thank you for watching Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, neighbors, and family. Have a great rest of your weekend and good trading to you tomorrow. Adios.